roads along the Gulf Coast are already flooded and power outages are reported. Hillary Clinton's right on the edge of securing enough delegates to win the Democratic nomination for president, but she's running neck and neck with Bernie Sanders in the delegate-rich state of California. And in the Los Angeles suburb of Compton today, Clinton says she's not allowing herself to look ahead to clinching the nomination.
It's not over until it's over, and tomorrow is a really important day, particularly right here in California.
While Sanders says if enough of his supporters head to the polls Tuesday, he will win the California primary.
If the turnout is high tomorrow, we will win. If the turnout is very high, I think we will win by big numbers.
It's another black eye for Americans on the Japanese island of Okinawa. Pentagon Press Secretary Peter Cook says the military deeply regrets that a sailor in Japan was arrested on suspicion of drunk driving there.
In response to this latest event, U.S. Naval Forces Japan has issued additional restrictions on naval personnel in Japan, including curtailment of off-base liberty and a prohibition on alcohol consumption on or off base.
In the latest incident, Petty Officer Second Class Amy Mejia, assigned to Kadena Base in Okinawa, was arrested Sunday after driving the wrong way on a freeway and smashing head-on into two vehicles. Mejia was not hurt, but two people in the other cars were slightly injured. On Wall Street, the Dow by 113 points to 17,970. The Nasdaq rose 26. The S&P advanced 10. Oil at $49.65 a barrel. More on these stories at townhall.com.
We all know carrying a lot of credit card debt is a hassle. You're constantly managing multiple payments, and if you miss one, your interest rates may go up. Avant can help you take control by consolidating credit card debt with an unsecured personal loan. You'll make just one fixed payment a month. Simply go to avantoffer.com and check your rate. Checking your rate is risk-free with no effect on your FICO score. Complete your application in minutes, and the funds could be in your account as soon as tomorrow. Avant will give you a $50 Amazon.com gift card after you make your first payment on time. For this offer and to check your rate risk-free, go to avantoffer.com and enter the promo code BORROW. That's AVANT offer.com, promo code BORROW. Avantoffer.com, promo code BORROW. Loans made by WebBank. Funds are generally deposited via ACH for delivery next business day if approved by 4:30 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. FICO is a registered trademark of Fair Isaac Corporation. Amazon is not a sponsor of this promotion. Other restrictions apply. See website for details.
The president of Afghanistan on Monday condemned the killings of David Gilkey, a veteran news photographer and video editor for National Public Radio, and Afghan journalist Zabihullah Tamana in a terrorist ambush while on assignment. Detroit Free Press Visuals director Kathy Kalashevsky says Gilkey, killed in Afghanistan over the weekend, did his most powerful work in combat zones.
He thrived in places where there was conflict, and he looked to bring humanity to those places.
She also says Gilkey was a great guy and a true professional.
David was one of a kind. He really was. He was an intensely focused, committed journalist, one of the best I've ever worked with.
Gilkey and Tamana were traveling Sunday in the south with an Afghan army unit near Marja in Helmand province when the convoy came under fire and their vehicle was struck. Two other journalists were not hurt. News and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters. Federal and private researchers are using a new tool to gather information about marine mammals and fish in the Bering Sea off Alaska's west coast.
Researchers from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration are using unmanned autonomous sailing vessels to gather information on endangered North Pacific right whales, fur seals, and ocean waters. The unmanned vessels were developed by Sail Drone Inc., a California company. They appeal to researchers because they're far cheaper than research ships, and they can operate in dangerous conditions of the North Pacific.
Correspondent Jeremy House reporting. Boxing great Muhammad Ali left meticulous instructions about how he wished to say goodbye to the world. Ali and his innermost circle started a document years ago they called The Book. The 74-year-old three-time heavyweight champion is said to have wanted a memorial service in an arena. He wanted multiple religions to have a voice while honoring the traditions of his Muslim faith. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hi, Tom Green with the check on your weather going into Tuesday. Partly cloudy, 40% chance of scattered thunderstorms, a low around 63. Mostly sunny, a high 86 and a low 57 under clear skies Tuesday night. Wednesday, sunshine with a high 79. Thursday, sunny with a high 84. We thank you for tuning to us for the latest in news, sports, and weather. Join Jim Bishop at 6:05 for the Wake Up Call, morning call-around report, great gospel music, Lou Gillen midday. I'll be in the afternoon with yesterday's memories and the afternoon call-around report here on AM 590 WCAB Rutherford.
Taxes are how we all do our part. But that's part of the problem. Not everyone does seem to be paying their dues.
Makers versus takers.
If they don't pay, why should I, right?
As Americans, we don't mind paying our fair share of taxes as long as everybody else does. The real question, Joy Reid, is which agenda will more Americans go with?
The following has been rated PC for politically correct.
Pay attention, you just may learn something.
It's the Sage, Larry Elder.
Larry Elder here, the Sage from South Central, the Prince of Pico Union, the Czar of Common Sense, the Great Eldersky, Don Lorenzo. Welcome to the program. No Victocrats allowed because we've got a country to save. So let's get her teed up!
You want to play what? Say hello to my little friend. What the hell's going on out here?
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Larry Elder here. We're going to be getting into the California primary, the criminals that have been released by ICE, and this male high school student who participated in the girls' track and field and won state honors in just a second. But first, in South Korea, this student taking a civil service exam apparently felt stressed, jumps out of a window to kill himself, lands on a South Korean civil servant. The South Korean civil servant's family has forgiven the student and said that the student who committed suicide is just a victim of our mercilessly competitive society. I was trying to think, where have I heard a story like this before? This is Alan King, the great Alan King.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This hotel opened October 23rd, 1966. Today is March 8th, 1987, and they're celebrating their 20th anniversary, which is exactly the way they count in the casino. No, there's no time for laughter. No time for laughter. About 16 years ago, I stood on this stage with about the same amount of business. It was always empty in the front when I worked there. And I was doing my wife jokes at the time. This is long before women's lib and the ERA. And while I was doing jokes, I did a joke one night. I said, women live longer than men. And I said, the reason for it is that they're not married to women. Now, it was not a big joke then, just part of a story. A woman stood up right about where you are there, who was a member of the State Assembly of Nevada, and this is absolutely true. She started to berate me about me being a male chauvinist pig, and there is no record, there are no recordings, no history, no about women living longer than men. Now, I haven't done this in a long time, and I dug out some of the obituaries that I'd like to do for you now, just to prove this point. Nothing has changed. Good evening. Would you turn around so we can get to a camera? I put my glasses on. When I did this bit 15 years ago, I didn't need the glasses. But this is an obituary. Would you examine it? It's a Xerox copy of an obituary. New York Post, is that correct?
That's
Nothing
correct.
I made up. There are 7 obituaries. Now, would you just read, without getting personal and mentioning the names, what does it say at the bottom of the first obituary?
He is survived by his wife.
Survived by his wife. Could you read the second obituary over here? What does it say there, dear?
He is
Survived by his wife. Could you read the third obituary? What does it say?
He leaves.
He leaves his wife. See, they change it around so you won't get bored. And this one is, he is survived by his wife. What does this one over here say, dear?
He is
Survived by his wife. And what does this one say here? Survived by, and what is, you know God done well with that. Survived by his wife. Yeah, I want you to have that 7 out of 7. Now, wait a minute. No. Wait one moment. Good evening. How are you, dear? Those roots are not dead, you know. Darling, Please, this is the Los Angeles Times. Is that correct? I have nothing up my sleeves. Will Rogers said, I only know what I read in the newspapers. Here's the newspaper, obituary pages, 3 obituaries, okay? Dr. Carl Sachs, botany expert. Is that correct?
Yes.
How old was he when he died? Can you see that?
81.
81. Professor Emeritus, Harvard University. What does it say at the bottom there?
He
leaves his wife. 81. Okay, now, wait a minute. Next one. Ludwig van Gelder. Mises, 92. Is that correct? Yes. 92. What does it say over there?
It
survived by his wife. 92. That's all, just the facts. Okay. Now, read the headline of the next obituary. T.C. Kistner.
Retired architect dies at 99.
99! Gave it a hell of a shot, didn't he? What does it say over there, dear?
He
leaves his wife. All right, now, wait a minute. Now, I got him in every pocket. How are you, darling? This is from the Cedar Rapids Gazette. This was sent to me in 1983. Right here, it says here, West Point's oldest graduate dies. Is that correct, dear?
Yes.
Nothing I made up.
No.
Oldest graduate at West Point. How old was he when he died? You see that?
Can't see.
You can't see? This is your seeing eye dog? Yeah, put your glass on. It's too important. Does a lot for you.
104.
104? West Point's oldest grad, 104. Is that correct?
Right.
Died. Okay, now. Shut up, I'll be back there in a minute. It says here, this man fought in the Spanish-American War, the Boxer Rebellion, the Philippine. 4 times he was awarded the Silver Star. Is that correct?
Yes.
Not making this up.
No.
He received the Distinguished Service Medal and the French Croix de Guerre.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
What does it say at the bottom, dear?
Survived
by his wife. A man went up against arrows and bows, flamethrowers and bombs. He beat them all. The only one he couldn't beat was that old broad right there, no matter. Survived by his wife. Now, good evening. You're not Juliet Prowse, are you? No, you're sitting down. She always moves around. Here is a Xerox. This is going into the Smithsonian Institute. Here is a letter from a young lady who heard me do this many years ago, sent this lovely note. She was a widow, and she said it was the first laugh she had received in years, and I was very grateful about this since her husband died. At the bottom, she enclosed a little piece from a Reuters communique. Would you read it? This is from the newspapers. Could you read what it says there? It says, wife ends all. Read it, please.
Mrs. Vera Shermack
Right.
of Prague, Czechoslovakia,
Right.
on hearing that her husband was leaving her for another woman,
Right.
threw herself from a third-story window to end it all.
Correct.
She was taken to a hospital and soon recovered.
Right. Wait a minute! She threw herself out of the third-story window to end it all. Soon recovered. What does it say?
Her husband, on whom she landed,
was killed on the spot. This threw herself out the window and landed on the old man, and he was wiped out. Now that's it. That's it.
So I thought I'd heard a story about that at some point, and anyway, the family of the 39-year-old father who was killed when the student jumped has forgiven the student and said he is the father was a victim of the South Korean competitive society. 888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. Obama says the reason that people believe the economy is so bad is because of right-wing radio and Fox News.
Because, and here, look, I'm just being blunt with you. By telling hardworking middle-class families that the reason they're getting squeezed is because of some moochers at the bottom of the income ladder because of minorities or because of immigrants or because of public employees or because of feminists or because poor folks who aren't willing to work. They've been able to promote policies that protect powerful special interests and those who are at the very top of the economic pyramid. That's just the truth. I hope you don't mind me being blunt about this, but I've been listening to this stuff for a while now. And I'm concerned when I watch the direction of our politics. I mean, we have been hearing this story for decades. Tales about welfare queens, talking about takers, talking about the 47%. It's the story that is broadcast every day on some cable news stations, on right-wing radio.
We'll be addressing that when we come back. 888-971-SAGE. It's all the fault of right-wing radio, right?
Call the Larry Elder Show now at 888-971-SAGE. That's 888-971-7243. Eldorado's Let Larry Know What's on Your Mind.
Imagine, the alarm clock goes off and you spring out of bed, raring to get to work. Why? Because you own the business and what you make and create is yours. You've dreamt of owning a business for years, but still haven't taken action to make your dream a reality. There are no more excuses. This is the year you become an entrepreneur. Speak to us here at ERSOP.com. ERSOP stands for Entrepreneur Rollover Stock Ownership Plan. We've helped thousands of people use their retirement money to invest in businesses for themselves and their family. It takes only a couple of weeks to finance, it's pre-approved, and it's totally legal. And then 3, 4, 5 years later, you'll put the retirement funds back and have the corporation carry on by itself. You have the business and the security of retirement funds too. Call ERSOP at 866-MY-ERSOP. That's 866-MYERSOP. 866-MY-ERSOP. Invest in yourself. 866-MY-ERSOP. That's 866-MYERSOP.
The angels from Visiting Angels are standing by to care for the loved ones in your life who need in-home care. If you have a family member or friend who needs assistance at home with hygiene, meals, light housework, errands, or companionship, I hope you'll consider Visiting Angels, America's choice in senior home care. If you know someone who wants to remain independent, these are the people who can help. Rates are surprisingly affordable, and up to 24-hour in-home care is available. You can even select your caregiver before care begins. Franchise opportunities are also available. With more than 500 franchised locations nationwide, there's an office near you. Call toll-free today at 877-374-LIVE or online at visitingangels.com. For senior home care from the real-life angels of Visiting Angels, call toll-free 877-374-LIVE. That's Visiting Angels, America's choice in home care at 877-374-LIVE or online at visitingangels.com.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated, price-competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $28 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-513-2334. That's 1-800-513-2334. 1-800-513-2334. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price can vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors not available in all states.
She was thrown out of a pickup truck.
Somebody threw him out of a car and shattered his leg.
They found her walking on the streets.
Many have been abused, malnourished, eating garbage.
scabs, itching, licking, missing fur.
This is a commercial on TV that the ASPCA does. They want you to send in $19 a month for a dog in the shelter. I think you should go and adopt a dog from the ASPCA and then get that dog on Dinovite. DINOVITE.com.
You don't need to spend thousands on vet bills.
Their answer is nutrition.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
When you rescue a dog, you've got to feed him right for life. Every rescue deserves at least 90 days of Dinovite.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
Dinovite is nutrition.
Dinovite for life.
DINOVITE.com.
Call the Larry Elder Show now at 888-971-SAGE. That's 888-971-7243. El Dorado's Let Larry Know What's on Your Mind.
I got a question for you, Mr. Elders. Should Hillary supporters be a little nervous that if she gets elected as president, she could be indicted on January 21st? Was she worth their time and votes? I'd like your thoughts on this, sir.
Well, if she gets elected, she'll be in charge of the DOJ. She's not going to indict herself.
Hi, Larry. Tom from Burbank. I hope that she'll give some contrast to this disgusting display of anarchic rioting in San Jose by little Dionne Warwick. Do you know the way to San Jose? Keep it up.
888-971-SAGE. You want me to sing it? That's a Hal David Bacharach song, isn't it? Dionne Warwick sang it. Do you know the way to San Jose? Okay, so President Obama, and by the way, we're going to get into the male high school track and field competitor who entered the girls' track and field side and won state honors, bottom of the hour, so stick around for that. What did I tell you? I told you that's the logical extension. And turns out in Alaska, they don't require you to have a doctor's certificate or to even undergo hormonal treatment. All you have to do is just feel that you are a person of a particular gender over some period of time, and you are deemed to be that gender. The policy is as follows, and we'll get into this in a few minutes. For the purposes of gender identification, this is Alaska, for interscholastic activities, the district will consider the gender identity based on the student's consistent declaration of gender identity, their actions, attitude, dress, and mannerisms, close quote. That's big enough for Arnold to drive one of his Hummers through, isn't it? So this male high school sprinter enters the girls' track and field and takes home all state honors. We'll be talking.
Let's go, girls.
We'll be talking about.
Come on.
Hey, maybe, it's. And in one of them, he didn't even win. Finished third in one of them he finished fifth. Now that's kind of, you're a male track star and you enter the girls and you finished third. Won fifth place in the 100-meter dash, third place in the 200-meter. Now in both events, he competed against girls as young as in 9th grade. This guy's a senior. One female competitor said, quote, "I'm glad that this person is comfortable with who they are and they're able to be happy in who they are, but I don't think it's competitively completely 100% fair." You're kidding. Another runner said, "It's in the DNA. Genetically, a guy has more muscle mass than a girl, and if he's racing against a girl, he may have an advantage." End of quote. You think? Now there's something called the Alaska Family Action, and the president has organized a protest forcing teenage girls to compete. Organized a protest against forcing teenage girls to compete against male athletes. Here's what he said. "We are here today as a voice from the community to ensure that female athletes are not denied the playing opportunities and scholarships otherwise available to them, and to make the playing field even again. Allowing students to play on teams of the opposite sex disproportionately impacts female students who will lose spots on a track, soccer, or volleyball team to male students who identify as female." You think? I told you it's a matter of time. All right, I want to get back to Obama's BMW. Those of you new to the program, BMW stands for Bitch, Moan, and Whine, about how Fox News and right-wing radio is causing people to feel real down about the economy. Isn't it amazing when you consider that of the 20 or so top sources of news, 18 are center-left? The only two center-right are Washington Times and the Fox News Report with Bret Baier. Outside of that, everything else center-left. But these two organs have such power, such influence, such might, that Obama has to single them out and attack them. So I'm holding in my baby brown libertarian fingers an article from Gallup. As far as I know, not neocons, not center-right. Jim Clifton is the CEO. February 3, 2015, look it up yourself. Headline is The Big Lie, 5.6 unemployment. Now, we talked about this before. Last month, 38,000 jobs were created. That is nothing. That's bupkis. That's nothing. Need 150,000 or so just to stay even with population growth. 38,000 in May. And by the way, in June of 2004, when Obama was a state senator, under the Bush administration, 300,000 jobs have been created in May of 2004. And here's what State Senator Obama, June 5, 2004, said about those numbers that George W. Bush was bragging about.
This is State Senator Barack Obama, the Democratic candidate for the U.S. Senate from Illinois. For the past few weeks, President Bush and members of his administration have traveled the nation to celebrate recent improved economic statistics. Well, I've been traveling too. All over this large and diverse state, in cities and suburbs, downstate and upstate, I've heard from people who say it's way too early to claim victory when it comes to our economy. After 3 dismal years of job loss, we all welcome encouraging statistics. But for most Americans, the health of our economy is measured in a different and more personal way. If I lose my job, where will I find one that pays as well and offers real benefits? Can I afford health care coverage on my own, or the cost of sending my children to college? Will I ever be able to save and retire with dignity and security? These are the questions I hear hardworking people asking. For them, the basic rewards of a middle-class life, rewards that we once took for granted, have become an elusive dream.
Now, that was Obama, State Senator Obama, 2004, trashing the numbers that George W. Bush was bragging about. And that previous month, May 2004, 310,000 new jobs were created. This May, 2016, 38,000. And Obama's blaming the pessimism about the economic news on Fox News and right-wing radio. Unbelievable. Now, the article by Gallup, The Big Lie, 5.6 unemployment, it's been Jim Clifton. And he's saying if you're out of work, if you stop looking for the past 4 weeks, the Department of Labor does not count you as unemployed. While you're as unemployed as you could possibly be and may never find work again, you're not counted in the figure that we see in the news. He says right now as many as 30 million Americans are either out of work or severely underemployed. Quote, trust me, he writes, the vast majority of them aren't throwing parties to toast falling employment, close quote. Factcheck.org, the organization from the University of Pennsylvania, said that Obama oversells U.S. economy. He said America's economy is not just better than it was 8 years ago, it's the strongest, most durable economy in the world. False. Actually, China's economy grew by double the U.S. rate. He says that we've seen manufacturing growth since the 1990s. False. It's declined 2.2% since Obama's been in office. He says that premiums are $2,600 less on average because of Obamacare. And he writes that, Fact Check writes that you can't attribute that to Obamacare. How much of it is attributable to Obamacare remains in dispute. So over and over and over again, Obama has, quote, undersold U.S. economy. This is factcheck.org and Gallup, not right-wing radio. Is this thing on? I don't think it's on. I'm Larry Elder.
Call in now and join the conversation. 888-971-SAGE. That's 888-971-7243. Larry will be right back. Stay tuned.
And all the stars that never were are parking cars and pumping gas. I've got lots of friends in San Jose. Oh, do you know the way to San Jose?
The following is a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management. probably been about 10 years ago. I had quite a few credit cards, and it was just getting to be too much, so I called Trinity.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-758-5360.
They met with me, and they were able to get all of my credit cards in one lower payment. Now we're doing a lot better.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-758-5360.
Goop, gunk, sludge, whatever you want to call it. It's the stuff that makes your engine just plain dirty. Luckily, the active cleaning power of Pennzoil Conventional Motor Oil, just $3.39 a quart at Napa, helps keep your engine clean. So pick up Pennzoil Conventional for $3.39 a quart at Napa and say goodbye to gunk. That's Napa know-how.
General States pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer expires 6/30/16.
We all know carrying a lot of credit card debt is a hassle. You're constantly managing multiple payments, and if you miss one, your interest rates may go up. Avant can help you take control by consolidating credit card debt with an unsecured personal loan. You'll make just one fixed payment a month. Simply go to avantoffer.com and check your rate. Checking your rate is risk-free with no effect on your FICO score. Complete your application in minutes, and the funds could be in your account as soon as tomorrow. Avant will give you a $50 Amazon.com gift card after you make your first payment on time. For this offer and to check your rate risk-free, go to avantoffer.com and enter the promo code BORROW. That's AVANT offer.com, promo code BORROW. Avantoffer.com, promo code BORROW. Loans made by WebBank. Funds are generally deposited via ACH for delivery next business day if approved by 4:30 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. FICO is a registered trademark of Fair Isaac Corporation. Amazon is not a sponsor of this promotion. Other restrictions apply. See website for details.
If you use a free credit monitoring service, you may think it will also protect your identity. But what you may not realize is that some free credit monitoring services feel free to sell your personal information. And that's a big price to pay. At LifeLock, we would never ever sell your personal information. Instead, we help to protect you from identity theft by using proprietary technology to detect and alert you to a wide range of potential threats. And in the event that we discover a problem, we have a team of US-based specialists who work to resolve it. Of course, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock helps to protect you without selling your information. Remember, free credit monitoring can cost you your personal information. LifeLock memberships start at just $9.99 a month plus applicable taxes. And now you can get 10% off a LifeLock membership. Go to LifeLock.com and enter promo code SMART. LifeLock.
American Financing, NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Falling in debt happens to the best of us, especially if you're supporting a growing family. But just because you're in debt now doesn't mean you have to stay in debt. Let American Financing consolidate your high-interest debt into one manageable monthly payment. Mortgage rates are still at historic lows, and interest rates on credit cards are at all-time highs. Good news, FHA loan limits have just increased, now making refinancing easier for higher loan amounts and more money available to pull out for debt consolidation or cash out. Start saving $500 to $1,000 every month. Think of what you could do with all of this money. Retirement, college funds, home renovations. American Financing's mortgage consultants are salary-based. They specialize in solutions, not counting commissions. You may even skip 2 mortgage payments, and that in itself can make a difference. Don't wait. Call 866-420-6690, 866-420-6690, or online at AmericanFinancing.net. American Financing, America's home for home loans.
Call the Larry Elder Show now at 888-971-SAGE. That's 888-971-7243. Eldorado's Let Larry Know What's on Your Mind.
Hey, Larry, this is Tim. I just want to say this past weekend, we saw evidence of Hillary Clinton's foreign policy experience floating in the Mediterranean. About 1,000 people died, mostly children, fleeing from Libya. Her fingerprints are all over the fact that those kids perished.
888-971-SAG, and that's one of the many things Donald Trump should have done in a point-by-point rebuttal of her foreign policy speech. Instead, he gave some general statement about, oh, it was sad, and then we're talking about the judge who Trump has referred to as Mexican. He blew an ample opportunity. He needs to raise his game, as Newt Gingrich said. Let me get back to the economy before I get back to the phones. Paul Krugman is a left-wing economist who writes for the New York Times, probably the most influential economist in the country because he writes for the New York Times. He was offered a job in the Obama administration, I understand, and turned it down because he thought he was far more influential by writing a column in the New York Times. And he says that he agrees the economy, the Obama recovery has been tepid, but he blames it on the failure of these dastardly Republicans to spend more on infrastructure.
Wow, I find it it's kind of pathetic, actually, that we're still saying, oh, look at Ronald Reagan. You know, we had a Republican president before Obama who got tax cuts, who controlled Congress, who got everything he wanted pretty much on economic policy, and Obama has outperformed him.
I completely disagree on each of those points, but go ahead.
But
we go to Reagan because he had Reagan policies.
No, but
Bush
Reagan,
had
anyway, the point is that the recovery has been disappointing. I will admit that, but it's been disappointing.
Did he say the recovery has been disappointing? I'll admit that. Did he say that? I think he did.
And disappointing. I will admit that. But
okay, now this is somebody who's not a right-winger, somebody who doesn't work for Fox News, doesn't have a radio show on Salem. Here he is admitting that the recovery has been disappointing.
I will admit that, but it's been disappointing largely because we have...
Okay, so here we have a disagreement as to why it's been disappointing. But there's no doubt that it has been disappointing. By any measure, virtually any measure, it has been the worst recovery since the Second World War. I've said over and over again that this is the first president who will preside over recovery where not 1 year has been 3%. 1% means a million jobs times the number of years of the recovery. So this has just been a normal recovery. We're talking about 7 million more jobs. If it had been a Ronald Reagan-esque type recovery, we're talking about 14 million more jobs. And Krugman believes that the reason it's been tepid has nothing to do with Obama's stupid stimulus, $800 billion, dropping a brand new entitlements program on the backs of job creators known as Obamacare, his stupid spending of money on First Boston Cylinder, $150 billion for green jobs, boondoggles like cash for caulkers, cash for clunkers, which cost the automobile industry about $3.5 billion. Oh, no. It's that these dastardly Republicans did not spend more on government. In other words, they should have taken more money out of your pocket and spent it more on government infrastructure. And that would have been the trick. If that had been the case, why did the Japanese have a lost decade of the 1990s? They spent and spent and spent on infrastructure. If all it does is raise taxes, extract money out of the pockets of people, and spend it on infrastructure, why then hasn't the economy flown in Japan?
The recovery has been disappointing. I will admit that, but it's been disappointing largely because we have had incredible cutbacks in public employment, public spending.
No, we haven't. Grover Norquist, American Tax Reform, he lays it all out.
Well, let's hear about the Trump plan to turn it around.
Look, just where are we on this? 660,000 people walked out of the workforce last month. Not only with 38,000 people got jobs, but 660,000 people said, we're not looking for work anymore. One of the challenges that we've had is the Obama recovery is so weak. The Reagan recovery from the end of the recession to out to the years was 4% growth each year out. It's been 2% average under Obama. If we'd grown at Reagan rates and job creation, there'd be 14.7 million more Americans working. The reason why people are so unhappy, why Trump gets support, why Sanders gets support, why people are grumpy, is the economy sucks. This is...
Wow. It kind of lays it out, didn't it?
Why Sanders gets support, why people are grumpy, is the economy sucks. This is not cheerful news. There are, again, 14.5 million more people would be at work, fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers, with jobs. They don't have jobs.
What's Trump's answer to turn it around?
Well, two things. I'm very happy with this tax plan. He said, step one, we're going to take business taxes, both corporations and people who drive Uber, independent contractors, 15% tax. Not 35% corporate rate, which is 10% higher than the European average, stupider than France, is not where you want to be on your corporate and business taxes. A 15% rate, extremely good step in the right direction. And he's competing with Hillary Clinton, who's outlined 6 major taxes, 3 of which she admits will cost $1 trillion.
Wow. I find it kind of...
Now, I want to say a quick word about relief factor. Keep these testimonials coming in. You don't have to name your name. This guy or gal didn't name her name. Maybe owe some money to somebody. Due to your recommendation, I gave Relief Factor a try. I've suffered with arthritis, sore muscles and tendons, and felt much older than my 55 years. I'm a very active person, but hurt just getting out of bed. Exercise became painful. Got the starter pack and felt relief within 24 to 48 hours. So grateful to have heard about it. Thank you. I mentioned it to my 80-year-old mother and bought her a couple of packets, and she thinks they will help her as well. She's also ordered the starter pack too. Thanks for bringing this great product to light. There is truly a significant difference in the pain level in a very short amount of time. Thanks for all you do. Wow. May I suggest something to you? As this person said, the 3-week quick start, that's just $19.95, 95 cents a day. Go to relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com.
Larry will be right back. Stay tuned.
Are you hiring? Do you know where to post your job to find the best candidates? Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites. And now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 100 plus job sites, including social media networks like Facebook and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any city or industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll in to ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 400,000 businesses. And right now, listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/America. That's ZipRecruiter.com/America. One more time. To try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/America.
Jay Steinfeld started Blinds.com 20 years ago to make the complex process of installing new custom blinds simple. Jay's personal commitment to serve every customer is the true heartbeat of Blinds.com, where picking out new custom blinds isn't just easy, it's empowering. And with summer right around the corner, Blinds.com is also the place to find roller and solar shades. They'll walk you through the selection, measuring, and installation every step of the way. The experts at Blinds.com have an average of 12 years experience. They're pros, and you'll get your very own design consultation from them worth $200 for free. You want samples? Free. Shipping? Free. And with the Blinds.com 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can't get this wrong. Plus a site-wide 20% discount on their entire selection. Just for listeners of this program now through June 30th, when you use promo code MEDVED. Go to Blinds.com and use promo code MEDVED for your 20% discount before June 30th. That's Blinds.com, promo code MEDVED.
Hello, I'm Tirza, a student at Hillsdale College. Here is Hillsdale President Larry Arnn on the basis of the rights our founders fought for in the Revolution and secured in the Constitution.
The American Republic's meaning and proper method of operation is to be found in two documents, in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. That's about 5,000 words of text. That's not very much. They're simple, they're beautiful, they can be understood and be retained. A human being is a certain kind of thing and requires to be treated in a certain way. A human being is a thing that has rights, and those rights are inalienable according to the Declaration. You've got to respect them. And it also follows that given the kind of thing a human being is, government needs to be organized in certain ways. And I think that is the argument of the American Revolution.
This Constitution Minute was brought to you by Hillsdale College. To receive a free pocket Constitution and Declaration, go to constitutionminute.com.
And now we continue to deprogram Victocrats. Here's Larry Elder.
Oh, Larry, yeah, I just wanted to point out that the demonstrations or riots in San Jose point out a part of the illegal immigration situation nobody has been covering, and that's the Reconquista movement. If you listen to what those people said, it wasn't about being part of America, it was about returning America to Mexico. So that's one thing, and you should look into this judge handling the Trump case. He has a lot of funny ties to the Hillary campaign. That's why Trump wanted him recused.
888-971-SAG. Those are legitimate reasons to be concerned. All I'm talking about is referring to the judge as a Mexican. That's way out of bounds, and he ought to apologize for that. Now, a lot of the national correspondents